Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hoyt. Here are some of the top stories that we are following as we start the afternoon. Authorities in Charlottesville, Virginia, make an arrest after last night's fatal triple shooting. We'll have a closer look at the victims as the University of Virginia mourns the loss. Plus, votes are still being counted, but some major races have yet to be decided. We'll have a look at the new members of Congress who are heading to Capitol Hill while we wait. And with U.S.-China relations at a low point, President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping meet face to face today. We'll have a little more on the high-stakes sit-down coming up in a little bit. But first, meteorologist Nathan Scott joins us as we look out on coming off one of the coldest weekends we've felt in a long time and start to wonder when we might see a break from it.
It was chilly out there this weekend, Rolly, and you see the sun is fading. The clouds are moving in ahead of our next system. And here's a fun fact for you. 4 years ago on this day, guess what? It snowed in central Arkansas, and we're expecting the potential of snow, especially in the mountains for late this evening into tonight. But here's the clouds moving in from the southwest. Temperatures are cold, only into the 40s. Take a look at radar. The rain trying to move into southwestern parts of Arkansas, but look at all the moisture into Oklahoma. That blue, that's snow into central Oklahoma, and that moisture is headed in our direction. Here's the latest with the winter weather advisories that go into effect for late this afternoon through tonight. It's primarily for North Arkansas, the mountains, and also the higher elevations of the Ouachitas. That's why the winter weather advisories don't take over the entire counties of Polk County and Montgomery County, but it says higher elevations, say around 1,500 feet and above. Future radar showing the pink, the blue invading West Arkansas and North Arkansas as we go throughout this evening. I'll let you know how much snow I'm expecting and if flakes could fly here in central Arkansas coming up.
Nathan, thank you. Let's go now to a THV 11 update. North Little Rock police still looking for the person or people who shot and killed two teenagers near McCain Mall. We first brought you this as breaking news Friday night right here on THV 11. Police are telling us that both victims are 17 years old. They haven't yet released their names publicly. Officers found the pair shot inside a vehicle near a row of stores at the south end of the mall's parking lot. One of the teenagers died at the scene, the other at the hospital. So far, police haven't made any arrests or identified a suspect, and anyone with information can report it anonymously to North Little Rock Police. Police in Virginia say they've arrested a suspect in the shooting that killed 3 members of the University of Virginia football team last night. Christopher Darnell Jones being charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder and other gun-related charges. The university president talked about the tragedy earlier today.
This is an unimaginably sad day for our community. The entire university community is grieving this morning. My heart is broken for the victims and their families and for all those who knew and loved them. And they are all in my prayers.
The shooting left 2 others injured. It all happened on a bus of students that was coming back from a school trip. Drawn-out vote counting out west finally yielded confirmation that Democrats will remain in control of the Senate. The House still hasn't been finalized, but as Nicole D'Antonio reports, Congress is starting to get back to work.
Welcome to Congress.
Newly elected members of Congress arrived on Capitol Hill to begin their orientation.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Taking a piece of history right now.
It will be a busy week for the new representatives as they learn the ropes, even though they're still waiting to find out which party will be in control.
Constituent services are going to be important no matter who's in control, so I've got to get amazing people in our office that can help out.
The first vote for new House Republicans will be tomorrow when they decide who will be their party's leader. Current Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is favored, but he's facing some opposition.
The question of which party controls the Senate was decided over the weekend when Nevada Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto was projected to hold on to her seat, giving Democrats at least 50 votes.
There's still one Senate seat left to be determined, with Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker heading to a runoff on December 6th. South Carolina's Lindsey Graham is the latest GOP senator calling for leadership elections to be delayed until after this Georgia vote. But not everyone agrees.
Well, I don't see why we would delay the election since all 5 or 6 of our leadership elections are uncontested.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he plans to speak with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell soon about how to work together on issues such as avoiding a government shutdown. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Senate Democrats are scheduled to vote on their leadership on December 1st. House Democrats will vote the day before, with Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying she is not yet sure if she will run to be leader of the party in the House. Meanwhile, as you saw in that report, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton spoke with Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation yesterday. When asked if former President Donald Trump should remain the leader of the Republican Party after this less than ideal midterm cycle, the junior senator, originally from Dardanelle, said Trump is very popular with many Republican voters, but also pointed to what he called, quote, important other leaders like Governor Brian Kemp, Ron DeSantis, and Glenn Youngkin.
Obviously, we hoped that we would have won more seats. I think the lessons in our victories can be applied to some places where we came up a little bit short. We need to focus on serious substantive accomplishments and issues like crime, like our wide open border, like addressing runaway inflation.
Senator Cotton also tweeted last night that he supported Mitch McConnell to stay on as minority leader. Also in the last half hour, Senator Cotton tweeting criticism of today's meeting between President Joe Biden and China's President Xi Jinping. As Tina Kraus reports, the presidential summit comes ahead of this week's G20 summit in Indonesia.
It will take more than a handshake for President Biden and China's Xi Jinping to get past their differences, but both agreed to try as they met face to face for the first time since Mr. Biden took office nearly 2 years ago.
We're going to compete vigorously, but I'm not looking for conflict. I'm looking to manage this competition responsibly.
The leaders of the world's 2 largest economies talked for 3 hours on the eve of the G20 summit in Bali, Indonesia.
We discussed Russia's aggression against Ukraine, reaffirmed our shared belief in the threat where the use of nuclear weapons is totally unacceptable.
But China and the U.S. are at odds over trade, technology, Chinese spying, human rights, and China's growing aggression toward Taiwan.
I do not think there's any imminent attempt on the part of China to invade Taiwan.
But China's leader told President Biden the Taiwan issue is a red line that must not be crossed.
Our one China policy has not changed, We oppose unilateral change in the status quo by either side, and we're committed to maintaining the peace and stability in the Taiwan Straits.
While overseas, President Biden didn't miss a chance to run a victory lap after the Democrats' success in the midterms.
There was an emphatic statement that in America, the will of the people prevails.
President Biden says he knows allies around the world are watching American politics and declared no nation is better positioned to help build a successful future than the United States. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
The president is in the middle of a 7-day round-the-world trip. He's due back in Washington later this week. And Arkansas is doing their part to help the environment. Construction begins today on a recycling facility that's unlike any other in the entire country. It's going to be the nation's first waste-to-energy park, and it'll be built in southeast Arkansas. Right now, it's just a plot of empty land near the Chico County landfill just outside of Lake Village, but it will transform into a facility that generates electricity by heating the trash to create steam. The plant will be operated by MD Power. They operate a recycling plant in Kentucky. That's the video there that you're seeing. This Arkansas facility will be able to process 500 tons per day, much more material than traditional recycling plants, keeping trash out of landfills. You know what that sound means? We are getting close to one of the favorite times of the year. This morning, the Salvation Army kicked off their Red Kettle campaign. They're looking to raise money for their outreach programs and services with a goal of raising around $220,000. Last year, the Salvation Army raised more than $220,000 and provided more than 2,900 nights of shelter. So with the holidays nearing, millions of kids are hoping for some magic this holiday season. After the break, we'll take a look at the hottest toys that parents will want to snag before they disappear. Plus, Nathan will have a white start of the holiday season, it looks like.
Rolly, it feels like Christmas out there. Temperatures are unseasonably chilly, and some parts of the viewing area will wake up with a little bit of snow on your Tuesday morning. I'll have the latest details coming up.